3 months ago, there weren't enough masks. We were desperately sourcing from all over the world. People were making face coverings from scarves, bandanas, and bits of fabric. Now there are plenty of masks, but some people don't want to wear them. Come on. Mask up, America.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Nate Moore Show. Our show brought to you each week here on WHS-TV by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Joining me, as always, the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Coach Nate Moore. Nate, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
You bet. Coach, your Tigers are now 8-1 after beating previously undefeated Westerville South last Friday night in a Division II Region 7 playoff game. Now, after the Wildcats took an early lead, your Tigers fought back and controlled the game after that. Overall, your thoughts on the game itself?
Thought we played really well for most of the game. You know, we opened up a 42-9 lead, and we're able to hold on for the victory. So we get to advance to the next week of the playoffs. So we're happy to be back in preparation.
Now, I know you don't talk much at all about personal achievements, but that Tiger win last Friday marked the 100th win for you as a head coach. Congratulations on that. Your thoughts on that career achievement?
Just trying to get 101.
Sounds good. Offensively, the Tigers ran the ball 46 times for 366 yards. Most of that came from sophomore running back Wiltrell Hartson. Hartson did set a new Massillon single-game rushing record with 324 yards in that win last week. He did this on 27 carries, scored 3 touchdowns. Now, we're obviously going to credit the offensive line as well, but what makes Wiltrell so special?
Hey, he's really good once he gets to that second and third level. That's really what separates him from a lot of other running backs is, how he's able to make guys miss and finish runs in the end zone. It's pretty special there.
Now, your offense pushed across a touchdown just before halftime to put the Tigers up 21-9. Did you feel that touchdown gave your team some momentum going into the locker room?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you can do that, end the first half with a score, that definitely has some momentum that carries you through halftime.
And your offense did not turn the ball over all night, and I know you appreciate that. Talk more about that.
Well, a lot of the credit there goes to the quarterback, Zach Catrone, and being really smart in decision making, and then all the backs that ran for us, keeping the ball high and tight, and running behind their pads, and everybody playing with good technique, and so proud of everybody for that.
The Tiger defense was challenged all night by the Westerville South offense. The defense did come up with a pair of interceptions, which certainly helped. What did you think about the play of the defense?
Thought they played well. Got after the quarterback. Played well in coverage for most of the night, and proud of them.
And then finally, when we've talked about officiating and penalties a lot in the past, there were a lot of penalties that night called against both teams. Is that something moving forward that you're concerned with or able to clean up, or how do you feel about that?
There's so many variables that go into that. So, it's really not even worth talking about.
Okay. All right, in just a moment, we'll meet a Tiger player, but first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar-ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining me now is Senior Co-Captain Xavier Andrews. Xavier, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Glad to have you. Hey, first of all, congratulations on a great win over Westerville South last week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Was that the best offense you and your teammates have faced this season?
Without a doubt, so far, yes.
Okay. And then what made them so difficult to defend?
Their receivers is the best receivers we have seen this year. They had a lot of speed, and their receivers know how to go up and get the ball.
Your defense did come up with 2 big interceptions in the game. Talk a little bit about the guys that play in the secondary and how they've made some big plays all season.
Well, one of them is my fellow captain, Andrew Wilson-Lamb. You know, he's going to West Virginia, and he played lockdown coverage. Artavian, Isaiah and Clark and Austin Bradley, both 2 fantastic safeties. They come up and make tackles and are fantastic in coverage too. Isaiah had two interceptions that game, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah.
And those guys offer great run support too, don't they?
Yeah, all of them do.
Right.
Even the corners on the edge.
What makes you and your fellow linebackers so good when it comes to stopping the run?
We the linebackers just do our job, read our keys, basically, and set in blocks. It's really reading the guards, because the guards tell us where the ball's going at all times. So, you know, just reading our guards and just swarming to the ball.
Now, watching you on the field, it's very clear that you always play with a lot of emotion. You're flying around out there. How do you get yourself motivated to play hard each and every week?
I always motivated. I love football, and this town, I was growing up watching a lot of people playing for them, and I always wanted to play for them, so it's not hard for me.
Well, of course, your opponent this Friday night are the Perry Panthers, and every time we play Perry, it seems that it's a game where both teams do play with a lot of emotion. Now, obviously, you want to play with emotion, but you also need to kind of keep that under control. Yeah. How do you keep that under control yourself?
We just go through the things that we go through throughout the week, like PT and stuff like that. Just help bottle our emotions, and we try to stay calm, but also do what we know to do.
All right. And last, what can you tell us about the Panthers offense?
Well, as everybody know, they run the wing T, a heavy run, and then they hit you up with a little pass every now and then. So we just got to just do our job, read our keys, and we win.
And I did think of one other question. Can you compare them to any other team you've played so far this year?
No, they're different. They just run, as much as they run the ball, it's not a team with them we played this year.
Okay.
They run the ball as much as them.
Well, good luck on Friday night.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Our thanks to Xavier Andrews for joining us on the show. Stick around. In just a moment, Coach Moore will rejoin the Nate Moore Show after this timeout.
Have questions about the coronavirus?
I'm here to share some simple steps you can take to help protect yourself and others.
Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Wash your hands often with soap and water for 20+ seconds.
Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue.
Clean and disinfect surfaces and objects. Wash hands after touching commonly used items.
Together, we can help slow the spread.
And we welcome you back to the Nate Moore Show. Coach, we just spoke with linebacker Xavier Andrews. Seems like when we watch him, he is all over the field. How would you grade out his performance in the big win over South last week?
Played really well. He's a senior captain for us and does a great job in leadership for us, and plays really hard. Had a lot of big tackles, and he's really physical when he's tackling, and plays really smart. Does a lot of great things for us.
Now, your team, of course, faces undefeated Perry this Friday night at Perry Stadium in a Division II Region 7 championship game. What changes will you and your coaches be required to make when it comes to traveling with the team for a game for the first time this season?
Well, I mean, we're going to get on a bus and travel to a different stadium, so that's different. Other than that, I'd say very little. I've never played at Perry Stadium. I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent. What can you tell us about this year's version of the Panthers as you get set to face them this week?
I mean, they're very similar to last year, which is very similar to the last time we played them. You know, not a lot of changes over there. run a version of the wing T offense. You know, they're run first. If they throw the ball 5 times, that's probably a lot. 4-4 cover 3 defensively, mostly. You know, there's you know, some slight adjustments in there, but you know, mostly a 4-4 cover 3. So.
Now, I think the natural rivalry with Perry has increased on the football field the past several seasons. Is that something that you even notice or pay attention to as a head coach, or do you think your players feel that?
I mean, we've only played them once, you know, twice since 2015, so I think it's hard to call it a rivalry.
All right. Now, how do you prepare to face an offense that you hardly ever see in high school football anymore? I know last year you saw them in the playoffs, but none of your other opponents run the wing T. Is that something you saw a lot at LaSalle at all?
No. I think we played maybe one team that was that you would call a wing T team when I was at LaSalle. Had a team that we played every year when I was at Minster that's a wing T team, or was a wing T team. So, you know, have a little bit of experience there. And, you know, our defensive staff has guys that have certainly prepared against wing T teams, and specifically Perry several times. So, are there differences in preparing for them versus other people? I mean, it depends on how you look at it, you know. Not really. You know, the same things that lead to defensive success against these guys are the same thing that lead to defensive success against everybody. You know, so from that standpoint, there's really no difference. You know, there's some things that are maybe more important than other times, just because, you know, if you gotta, you know, if your Sam linebacker has to spill a kick out block 25 times versus 5 times, does that make it more important? Yeah, you know, so from that standpoint, yeah. But, you know, as far as everybody doing their job and playing hard, you know, there's really no difference.
Is it important to get out to a lead so that you maybe force them to throw the ball maybe more than they typically would want to?
I mean, that's really a hindsight kind of thing. Because, I mean, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to say, we really want to get out to a lead. But isn't that what you're trying to do all the time?
Sure.
You know, don't you try to score every possession?
Sure.
You know, don't you try to, you know, force a punt on every defensive possession? So, I mean, you know, that's like sitting around with a magic wand. So, you know, is that a good thing? Sure. You know, but that's, you know, same thing. That's kind of always the goal. That's kind of a hindsight kind of question.
Okay. And you mentioned the Perry defense. Formation-wise, what do they like to run, and what do you see as some of their strengths?
I mean, formation-wise, you're going to see the, you know, double wing set, you know, where you've got 9 gaps to defend. What was the rest of that question?
Well, just what Perry's defense will show you.
4-4 cover 3.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, best of luck on Friday.
Appreciate it.
Let's keep it rolling. We want to thank Coach Nate Moore and Tiger co-captain Xavier Andrews for joining us on the show this week. Our show always brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. For Coach Moore, I'm Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our career technical education department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.